Attention passionate Montreal, Canadiens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the Atlantic Division and it could shake up the entire conference. We're talking about a direct impact on Montreal Canadiens' path to another Stanley Cup run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Montreal Canadiens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Montreal Canadiens fans. Let's get to the news. Alright, Canadiens fans, sit tight because the news coming out of the NHL, and especially about your beloved Canadiens, is quite the roller coaster. If you're like me, you've been glued to every rumor, every whisper, every bit of intel about how Montreal plans to shape their roster for the upcoming season. And let me tell you, what's happening right now is a significant chapter in the team's ongoing rebuild process, and it's bound to have ripple effects across the Atlantic Division and beyond. For months now, the NHL buzz has been swirling around Evgeny Kuznetsov, the talented Russian forward who's been a two-time NHL All-Star and a key player for the Washington Capitals during their Stanley Cup winning season in 2018. His name kept popping up in NHL circles, especially linked to Montreal, with fans and analysts alike speculating whether the Canadiens would make a bold move to bring him in. The reasoning was simple. Montreal has been actively searching for that perfect second-line center, someone who can support their promising young star Ivan Demidov, who's just starting to make a name for himself in the league. Now, for those who may not be fully caught up, Demidov is a highly regarded prospect, a Russian center with incredible vision, size, and skill. Montreal's management has expressed a lot of faith in him, but they recognize that to really compete, especially in a tough division like the Atlantic, they need experienced veterans to complement their young core. The idea was that Kuznetsov, with his offensive skill set and international experience, could be a perfect fit. The thought was that pairing him with Demidov might spark some chemistry, creating a dynamic duo that could carry Montreal's offense for years to come. But now, folks, that narrative has taken a different turn. According to recent reports from journalist Louis-André Larivière, the Canadiens have officially decided not to pursue Evgeny Kuznetsov. That's right. The team will not be offering him a contract, and that's a decision that surprises many, considering how frequently his name was linked to Montreal in recent weeks. It's a clear signal that the Canadiens' front office, led by GM Kent Hughes, is taking a very cautious and strategic approach to their rebuild. So why did they decide to pass? Well, Larivière's insight is quite revealing. He points out that Montreal's management believes Kuznetsov is no longer capable of contributing effectively in a top-6 role on a consistent basis. Now, this is not just about skill, although that's part of it. It's also about the overall attitude, the off-ice reputation, and whether they see him fitting into the culture they're trying to build. Let's back up a bit and look at Kuznetsov's recent trajectory. He's always been known as an electrifying playmaker, a guy who can make magic happen with a quick pass or a clever deke. During his time in Washington, he was instrumental in helping the Capitals win the Cup in 2018, and he's had seasons where he's put up impressive numbers, sometimes over 70 points in a season. But things aren't quite the same anymore. His game has slowed, and there have been questions about his consistency and intensity. In recent years, Kuznetsov has faced criticism for not always bringing the same level of effort every night, and off the ice, there have been some reports and rumors about his attitude and commitment. The NHL is evolving into a faster, more physical league, and players who don't keep up with that pace often fall behind. That's the reality that Montreal's management appears to be weighing heavily. They're looking for players who not only have talent, but also bring a certain focus, professionalism, and reliability to the locker room. And that's where Kuznetsov's case becomes complicated. Despite his desire to play in Montreal, his agent, Shumi Babiv, confirmed that Kuznetsov would love to wear the Canadiens' jersey. The team just doesn't see a fit right now. According to Babiv, Kuznetsov is a good fit on paper, and he's eager for a fresh start. But the Canadiens believe there's simply no room for him at this moment, especially considering their current roster needs and the direction they're heading. This decision also reflects the broader philosophy that GM Kent Hughes and the Canadiens' front office are adopting. They're emphasizing building a team with young players who can develop in a positive environment, players who show accountability and a long-term commitment. Bringing in a player like Kuznetsov, who's been in the league for years with some baggage and questions about his recent form, doesn't align with that vision. Montreal is in the midst of a rebuild, and patience, development, and culture are the priorities. But let's not forget, this isn't the end of their search for a second-line center. Hughes is reportedly still working behind the scenes, trying to find that perfect piece, someone who can step in and make an immediate impact. The market is thinning out, and as training camp approaches, the window for a meaningful addition is narrowing. Montreal needs to act quickly if they want to add someone who can gel with their core and make a difference in the upcoming season. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this decision also signals a shift in how the Canadiens view their roster construction. They're not just chasing big names or flashy signings anymore. They're focused on long-term growth, on creating a sustainable, competitive team that can contend in the NHL's toughest division. That's why they're passing on Kuznetsov, despite his talent. It's about the right fit, the right culture, and the right mindset, things that are crucial for their rebuild to succeed. And as we watch this story unfold, it's worth noting how this impacts the division and the conference. The Atlantic Division is fiercely competitive, filled with teams like Boston, Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Florida, all loaded with talent and veteran presence. Montreal's move to steer clear of Kuznetsov could be seen as a strategic one, avoiding potential locker room distractions and focusing on players who fit their identity. It's also interesting to reflect on how this fits into the broader NHL landscape. Many teams are now emphasizing character, work ethic, and team-first mentality over pure talent alone. Montreal's decision aligns with a trend that many organizations are adopting, building from the inside out, cultivating a culture of accountability, and trusting their developmental systems. So, what does this mean for the Canadiens' upcoming season? Well, the team will likely continue to explore options, possibly turning to the free agent market or making a trade closer to training camp. The key is finding someone who can step into that second-line center role and help Demidov and the rest of the young core flourish. The team's prospects are promising, but they still need that veteran presence to stabilize and elevate their top lines. And don't forget, Montreal fans, that this is all part of a bigger puzzle. The franchise is laying the groundwork for future success, and while fans might wish for instant results, patience and strategic decisions like these are what will ultimately define their rebuild. The Canadiens are committed to building a team that's not just competitive now, but sustainable in the long run, and that's why they're taking their time and being meticulous with their roster decisions. And now, Montreal Canadiens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this decision? Do you agree with the team's approach? Who would you like to see fill that second-line center spot? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Canadiens, and I love hearing your insights and predictions for the upcoming season. Remember, the NHL is always full of surprises, and the Canadiens are no exception. They're building something special, and this is just one chapter of their story. Stay tuned, because I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and insights into what's happening in Montreal and around the league. We're in for an exciting season, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. From the heart of the Canadiens nation, keep the passion alive, keep supporting your team, and let's continue to grow this community of true hockey fans. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Habs go!